Welcome everybody to Oksana's presentation of mindfulness in the workplace. I met Oksana about 60 days ago, 90 days ago or so. A friend of ours a mutual friend down in Miami introduced us, and she's been working with some of the entrepreneurs that I know around the planet, and actually working with me personally. So Oksana has become my mindfulness coach, and I can tell you it's made a difference in my life personally. I have a challenge between reacting and responding. I tend to be the person that reacts to situations really quickly. And she has helped me through meditation and breathing techniques to become more of a person who steps back for a second and responds, minding that gap. So she's going to work with us today to be better in this space. It may be very, very new to some of you. It was to me. So I encourage you to jump in here with a very open mind, and we'll let you take over the rest of the time. I'm going to be monitoring questions, so if anybody has questions in the little Q&A box, you can pop those in there, and then Oksana will bounce those over to me, and I'll read the questions to her. So welcome, Oksana. Thank you for being here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Andy, and thank you to Petra, Coach. And I'm thrilled to be here this afternoon. Can everyone see and hear me well? The mic is working? Andy, can you hear me?
Yes, you're perfect.
All right, wonderful. Well, I would like to start by inviting you to do a cell phone detox for the next hour and a half or so. If you choose to, if you feel charmed, just put your cell phones on mute and away from the body, so you don't have access. And we're going to be doing a few exercises, so you can just experiment and don't worry about what's on the digital screen out there, only if you feel charmed. And now I would like also for you to find the most comfortable seating. If you're standing, just relax as much as you can. And if you choose to, close your eyes or lower your gaze and start locating yourself in the body, noticing your mental, emotional, physical state. And start locating your breathing, noticing your inhale and exhale. And as you inhale, look for expansion. And as you exhale, release and let go. Whatever is no longer needed, start to close your mental files and clearing out the space from everything that has happened up until this point. Together, we'll take 3 deep breaths. As you'll hear the bell, you'll inhale through the nose. Slowly pause at the top and slowly exhale through the nose. And relax a little deeper, sink deeper into the chair. One more. Inhale through the nose, slightly pause at the top, and as slow as you can, exhale through the nose, relaxing your shoulders, clearing the mental space. And one last deepest inhale of the day. And as you exhale, fully arrive into the space, clear and open to whatever lies ahead. If you had your eyes closed, feel free to open them now. Welcome back. Well, my name is Oksana Esperard, and today I'm your Chief Meditation Officer. I hope it's okay that I share just a little bit of my background, so I'm not a total stranger. In my past life, I was a stressed hospitality and business development professional, and I was looking for ways to release that ever-escalating anxiety, stress, anger. I was also reacting and not responding. Throughout my journey, I found mindfulness meditation about 10 years ago. And since then, I have spent more than 3 months in Indian Himalayas training there, and I've completed meditation and yoga teacher training. I've completed mindfulness-based stress reduction program here in the US, transcendental meditation in Hong Kong, and countless seminars and different summits on the subject to continuously educate myself. Now I'm working with entrepreneurs and business owners and executives to install mindfulness and mindfulness practices in the workplace for the next level performance, team, and culture. In the next 90 minutes, we will cover some of the mindfulness strategies that you can implement and also why do they work. If you have any questions, like Andy already mentioned, please type them into Q&A, and I'll pause throughout the presentation to see if there is anything that I can clarify. But also, we'll have a little time left in the Q&A at the end. How does all that sound? I hope great. So let's begin with a little experiment. I would like you to look around wherever you are and find anything that you see of the color red. Just find red. And now close your eyes, stop looking around, and tell me anything that you remember seeing of the color blue. What about green? Yellow? I feel smiles on some of your faces because you were not expecting that. You were focusing on red, right? Well, it's because we confuse our ability to multitask with our ability to multifocus. We are not as focused as we think we are. And that boils down to the fact that we actually have two minds and not one, like most people think. Our conscious mind, which is the tip of the iceberg that you see, the 5%, is responsible for our awareness, focus, creativity, decision-making, and positive thinking. That is the human mind. No other animal on the planet Earth have these abilities. Our subconscious mind, the bigger part of the iceberg out there, is strictly habitual. This is a memory box of habitual responses to the environment that you downloaded when you were a child, between the age of 2 and 4. This mind, the subconscious mind, also responsible for our living structures, living processes like breathing, cardiovascular, digestion. That's why we don't think about them. Well, the reason why you can multitask is because you can fire both minds simultaneously. For example, you can type and listen to somebody. You can drive and talk on the phone. It's because one is responsible for automatic, and another one is you're consciously focusing. You're listening, you're focusing on something. So our conscious mind, the 5% processes about 40 stimuli in the environment per second. Guess how much our subconscious can process in the same second. Just pick a number in your head, and I can tell you it's way faster than conscious. Well, our subconscious can process 20 million stimuli per second. So it's really a supercomputer, and it's ridiculously fast. Because our conscious mind, we're consciously aware, the 5% that you see, that is how much of the physical environment we process consciously. 95% goes subconsciously. And all these memories and habitual responses that you downloaded as a child, you're just going there as a memory and you're responding to the environment. What it means for us is that there is a lot of room for improvement, really, great tons. And mindfulness can help us with that. So the classic definition of mindfulness, and Andy, do we have any questions yet? So far, so good?
So far, so good. No questions.
Okay, wonderful. Well, mindfulness, the classic definition of the mindfulness is paying attention to the present moment. Our conscious mind has the ability to time travel. The conscious, the 5%, we can be in the past, and understanding the past, ruminating, complaining, or we can be in the future, planning, strategizing, or also worrying. While we're daydreaming, we're in the past or in the future, who is running the show? We're still operational. You guessed it right, the subconscious. How much do you think we wonder? The scientists call it wondering. I call it checking out. When we are in the past or in the future, we're not paying attention to the present. That is called wondering or checking out. And scientists calculated that on average, a regular person during their awake state checks out about 47% over time. That's right, even at work. Almost half of the time, you're not paying attention to what you're doing. And what happens in that moment, our subconscious takes over. So if you learn how to be more present, and the present moment is where the two minds meet, our subconscious is only acting to the present. It cannot time travel. It's just a memory box. The stimuli comes from the environment. We go to subconscious to choose our behavior. So if we choose to be in the present moment, if you're conscious in the present moment, you can actually catch your subconscious behavior and then choose to either go ahead with it or change it. So you can actually creatively respond. And that's what's called responding and not reacting. If you're unconscious, you are reacting. If you can become conscious in that present moment, you start to respond. And that opens a total different level of opportunities out there. If we're not present, we're literally stuck in our habitual patterns. So, mindfulness is truly expanding the possibilities to respond in new creative ways and participate in your successes and your challenges. The key is to actually be in that present moment without adding your coloring to it, like likes and dislikes, bad, good, neutral. These things, we need to cultivate our ability to pay attention to what is without judging it. So, mindfulness is paying attention to the present moment non judgmentally. So, how we can do that in the work environment? The paradox of a successful decision making is that you need to know when to get out of your head, when to stop being so much in the habit loop of thinking. And that is counterintuitive because we are getting paid at work to stay in our heads, right? We're getting paid to think. So a lot of people would not be comfortable with the whole idea. And if only we use other tools like body awareness, movement, meditation, breathing, then we can shift our mental and emotional states on demand and we can choose to be present. We can train our ability to be present. So let's uncover some of those strategies. So, one of the simplest techniques of becoming present is to start to pay attention to your body. Our bodies are physical matter and they're constantly present. If you are stressed, remember the last time when you were overwhelmed, stressed, frustrated, your body gets tense. So if you learn to understand where is that you get tense and you relax, you choose to relax your body, your mind will automatically shift gears. Your mind will relax as well. Plus, your mind will become present and you will meet the conscious and subconscious. If you do not practice in our regular kind of modern life, we kind of completely forgot that we have bodies. A lot of people act like they have the head and then they're just legs and they're just walking legs. There are a lot of going on. There's a lot of information. There's a whole avenue of information that is happening between your body and the mind. Just need to retrain yourself how to listen to that information. Let's do a simple exercise, unless we have any questions, Andy.
Nothing of the serious nature, so I'm managing the clown activity on the side. You're doing great. Keep going.
All right, awesome. So I would invite you to do this exercise with me. And this is exercise to train and establish that communication. You don't need to do it every day. So what are we going to do? Find the most comfortable sitting for you again. And if anybody driving at home, please do not close your eyes at any point. I am not liable for closing your eyes while you're driving. So put both feet, find your most comfortable position, sitting. Put both feet firmly on the ground. And see that you can open kind of like your chest. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes so you can really go inward. Or just lower your gaze on one spot somewhere in front of you so you stop looking around and perceiving the environment. So close your eyes, lower your gaze, and begin by just making a mental note of how you feel right now, your physical, mental, emotional state. Just noticing what is, and give it a word, give it an adjective. I feel calm, or I feel worried, I feel bored, whatever it is. And now we'll do a gentle body scan from the bottom of our feet to the crown of our head. And all you need to do is just listen to my instructions and keep yourself inward. Pay as much attention to the body as possible. So fully exhale and bring your awareness to the bottom of the feet. and feel the connection of the feet with the ground. Feel the full support and the pull of the gravity. Feel the firmness of the earth and just notice the calmness of that understanding. Now moving to your ankles. And if you have any tension in those tiny muscles, choose to consciously let it go and release. Now moving up to the calves, feeling any sensations, tensions, and mentally choosing to relax and let go. Moving up to the knees, relaxing the knees, moving up to the thighs, and feeling the connection with the chair, with the surface you're sitting on. And let go a little bit, give in into the gravity. Let that sit support you so you're not holding up so tight anymore. Moving up to the hips, relaxing all the joints and the muscles inside the hips. We tend to store a lot of tension here. By choosing to relax. And if you feel like you want to adjust yourself at any point, do so. Listen to your body. Moving up to the stomach, and make your stomach soft and mushy. Let go of that six pack right now. It's okay. Make it soft, like a cloud. Start noticing the breath and how it expands as you breathe in, how it falls as you breathe out. Moving up to the chest. And mentally, opening your shoulders just a little bit, opening up that rib cage, releasing any tension, letting go, creating space with each inhale. Now going to the back, scanning gently the lower back, the mid back, the upper back, and choosing to relax any tension that you find. Going up to the shoulders and drop the shoulders down. Let them go. Let the gravity take and pull them down. Now bringing your awareness to the palms, to the hands, and noticing the connection with the body or with the surface that they're resting on. Feeling the coolness, all the warmth, and choose to relax each and every finger. Relax the center of the palms. Bringing your awareness to the wrists and the forearms. Relaxing the elbows and the upper arms. Coming back again to the shoulders. Your whole body below the neck is absolutely relaxed and supported by the chair, by the earth. Now going into your neck and scanning if there is any tension, and relax. Let it all go. Go into the back of the head where the neck meets with the skull. Scanning the back of the head and the area around the ears, the crown of the head, all the muscles on your head. Let them relax, just with the power of your awareness. Moving into the forehead, relaxing all the wrinkles, the eyebrows, and the space around the eyes, your cheeks, your nose, the ears. Let go of your jars, your lips, your full face, and the head is as relaxed as it can possibly get right now. Take a few breaths, inhaling this full relaxation, expanding, creating more capacity, and exhaling, letting go of whatever is no longer needed. Any tensions, pains, sensations, thoughts, emotions. Take one deep breath. And slowly exhale through the mouth. And now notice again your mental, physical, emotional state. As you opening your eyes in the next inhale, see if you feel any difference. Usually you should be feeling calmer, more relaxed, more clear, rested. And some of you have found out that you need a massage big time. So this is the training for you to start to paying attention to your body. And it's a beautiful tool to do every once in a while, or you can do it before the bedtime. If you do this scan when you're already lying down, you will have the quality of sleep that you had not had before. And chances are you won't be able to go too far in your body, you'll fall asleep already. The way you can use the body awareness is if you are in a tense situation, let's say you are in front of a very upset client, boss, colleague, and you start to feel that tension boiling up. There are two things. One, you can, if you remember, and that is part of the training, is to remember, put your awareness to your feet. If you're paying attention to your feet and you feel that the ground is still there, that you're feeling grounded, then your brain will relax, your mind will relax. Another spot that you can pay attention is your back. If you're standing or sitting, if you're sitting, you can pay attention and lean back and say, okay, what is the surface? And describe that surface. That will automatically take your full awareness from the fight or flight response, which is on the back of our head. And once you start paying attention and being present to the body, you will shift to your prefrontal cortex, to the conscious mind. And that will allow you to respond versus react. You also can incorporate these three things that I listed in the slides. Stretch as much as you can during the day. Just bring in awareness where relaxing your neck, relaxing your shoulders, getting up every 60 to 90 minutes. And the beautiful tool with that, if you drink enough water, if you hydrate yourself properly, actually you will want to get up every 60 to 90 minutes to use the bathroom. Use that time consciously to just, don't take your phone to the bathroom and just disconnect for a few minutes. And being aware of the tense spots. A lot of people do not know where they store their tension. Ask yourself, where is the favorite spot for you to go and store stress? For me, for example, is the stomach and the hips. Once you know that spot, you don't need to scan the full body. You can just go straight into that spot and know, okay, I hold my stomach. Let me relax it. And then your mind will relax. Don't take my words on this. Test it out for yourself, and you absolutely will be surprised by the results. So what else can we use that is also present that it can connect us to that conscious and subconscious meeting point? Well, our breathing. Just like the body, we only breathe in the present moment. The length and the depth of our breath has the capacity to affect our nervous system. Let me repeat that one more time. You have a capacity to either upregulate or downregulate your nervous system. And that is huge. It means that you have all the power to just quiet down and respond. Or if you're not energetic enough, then you can actually do certain breathing techniques and become energetic and get that extra source of energy. I can tell you with 90% certainty that in the United States, the modern Western world, we are overstimulated. We live in a never stop culture. It's one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. So chances are you don't really need to upregulate your nervous system. You need to learn how to quiet it down. And we're going to do three breathing tips that I'm going to discuss in just a minute. The beauty of the breathing is that it's always with you, anywhere, anytime. All you need to do is to train and establish a habit of paying attention to it. So the tip number one is that when we are stressed, when we are under pressure, we tend to hold our breathing. So a lot of people, when they're stressed, they say, like, I need to take a deep breath. And when you're holding your breath, you try to take a deep breath, there's nowhere to go. So first, remember to exhale. You exhale fully. And as you exhale, you also let go. Your shoulders go down, your hips go down, your whole body just gives into the gravity. We fight our gravity so much that we try to pull everything up. Let go, relax, and exhale is a beautiful tool to do so. The second tip, and I kind of made a rhyme out of this. If you are under stress, take 6 deep breaths. The reason why is because if you feel that boiling motion and you're already charged, remember you're in front of a client or a colleague or a boss and you just do not like to hear what they're doing or they're even screaming. If you are charged, if you are in the defense mechanism, which usually going to happen automatically, nothing, and I can guarantee you, nothing that comes out of your mouth would be of a productive, constructive ways. It's usually going to be a habitual response, hopefully not hurtful, but it won't be a win-win situation for both. If you take 6 deep breaths, and 6 scientists calculated that that's on average how much it takes a person to quiet down the nervous system. If you take those 6 deep breaths, then you will feel the profound difference. And instead of reacting from your amygdala and doing the fight or flight situation, you will respond. You will at least have a choice to respond. Potentially, you might even choose to say something to that is not nice or showing them some strength, but it will be conscious. It won't be subconscious, and you will not regret it because you have chosen to do so. And the last exercise, and also you can actually, all the colleagues that right now you have on the same webinar, you can use this tool and you can choose to tell another person, listen, you're a little charged. Why don't we take 6 deep breaths together and then we'll continue our conversation. So try it. It's fun. The last technique that I want to share with you is 5x5 breathing. I love this breath because you really can do it anywhere, anytime, with your eyes open while driving. It's super simple and nobody will notice that you are doing it, but at the same time, you're just managing your states. So instead of me telling you about it, why don't we do another try at it? Andy, is there anything that I could answer before we do that?
Yeah, that's a great point. So I've got a couple things. First of all, we are recording this. A lot of people are asking, can they get a recording of this? We are recording this and we'll have it up on the website later this week. And then we do have a question is, what tool can we use to find out where we hold our tension? You mentioned tension in the shoulders, yours in the stomach. Is there a way that we can identify where tension is held?
Yes, the body scan. The body scan that we did all together, you train yourself to pay attention to different parts of the body. And when you do that, you will eventually notice, because the point is to notice and then let go and release. If this is too soft, some people just don't know the difference between the tension and the relaxation. What you can do, you can start by tensing each part of the body. You tensing the feet and then you relax. Then you're tensing the calves and then you relax. You're tensing the knees and then you relax. That will train your brain to understand what is tense and what is relaxed. And eventually you will notice it comes almost like a second nature. Once you do that for a few times and you are sitting somewhere, you will have this aha moment and be like, I'm holding tension in my hips. It's all about getting curious and getting curious in your body. The simplest thing is set a timer. I'll say an alarm at 11 o'clock and at 4 o'clock and your work. And do the body scan and understand, okay, my stomach is not relaxed or my shoulders are not relaxed. And the beauty of it is that once you find out, these are usually the same spots. And once you know them, you just go there. I hope that answers.
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, let's do this 5x5 breathing. So when you do any breathing exercises, the key here is to open your rib cage. With the cell phones, computers, we tend to lean forward and we close our shoulders. So you want to either lean on something that will allow you to open up your chest, or just physically pull your shoulders down and up. You also want to keep your chin parallel to the ground because that would allow your neck to be neutral, so you have that airflow, the air passage. And I always suggest to put both feet on the ground without crossing them, because if you cross your feet or put one leg over the other, you're kind of blocking the bloodstream, and then you're just not getting the full benefit of the exercise. So lower your gaze or close your eyes. And the reason why I'm closing it, remember you can do that with eyes open, but I want you to go inward right now as much as possible so you can really feel and understand what it does into your body. So close your eyes or lower your gaze. And what we'll do, we'll breathe only through the nose, and I'll count for you. So fully exhale through the nose. And now start inhaling on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold your breath again. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 4, 3, 2, 1. Out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue at your own pace for a few rounds. It's important that you count. So you're inhaling on the count of 5 as you count. You're holding your breath on the count of 5. You exhale on the count of 5, and you hold your breath again on the count of 5. Everything through the nose. And as you do the breathing, you usually want to do it for a couple of minutes, so it starts to get the effect on the nervous system. This particular breath is beautiful because it reverses the effects of stress. It regulates blood pressure. It regulates sugar levels. It's scientifically documented. And it also releases the nervous system. It quiets it down. So continue just a few more rounds, inhaling on the count of 5, holding your breath, exhaling on the count of 5, and holding your breath again. It's 4-part breath, and that is actually how any breathing should be. 4 parts: in, hold, out, hold. And one last round whenever you are. And as you exhale, feel free to open your eyes and hopefully feel a little more relaxed, just one level deeper. Beautiful. So let's talk about my favorite tool, the meditation. And remember the exercise that we did in the beginning with the color red, where I asked you to focus and look for everything that is red. And then I didn't ask for red, I asked for another color. Remember how challenging it is for us to focus. It's because to focus is a skill. Paying attention on purpose, on demand, is a skill that we need to consciously develop. And remember yourself in the long meeting, or somebody boring is speaking. Hopefully it's not me right now. You guys still with me? Type something for Andy if you're awake. So meditation is that mental training to train the focus and self-awareness. And the beauty of it that you can do it again, anywhere, anytime. You just need to have the technique and to find that quiet space and allocate that time. With meditation, you're activating the prefrontal cortex. You're physically sitting there and focusing completely on prefrontal cortex. And of course, your mind will wander, but then you're coming back. Just like with any training, whether it's the army or the gym, it requires consistency and it has a cumulative effect. If you meditate once, you will feel relaxed, you will feel recharged or energized, but it's not going to last. If you go to the gym and you did some abdominal exercises, you didn't have a six-pack for life. You need to go back and retrain and create the muscle tone. Similar thing happens in the brain, except that with the neural pathways. When you're meditating and when you're establishing any habit, you're creating the neural pathways. You can rewrite the old ones and you can create the new ones. The only kind of thing is that you need to maintain them, that you need to constantly insert that training so they stay, so those connections of creativity, they stay glued together. So the simplest technique to meditation, and we're gonna try this right now. I want to do a very, very brief meditation. The simplest technique is to pay attention to your breath. A lot of questions come in usually for me about the apps. There are now countless number of mobile apps and guided meditations, recorded meditations that you can do. The way I look at them, they're wonderful tools to establish the habit of meditation. So if you're using any app, usually it has already everything set up, it has the timer, it has beautiful music and somebody telling you what to do. And it's wonderful. So you can establish that habit of 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever your time allows, to do every day or at least 5 to 7 times a day. However, just like any tool, if you don't let go of it, it will become a crutch. So if you are using any external tools, you're actually paying attention to those tools, you're paying attention to somebody's voice, and it takes away from your ability to pay attention to what really going on inside you, to focus on your subconscious, to focus on your conscious. So use them as the beginning, beautiful tools, but remember, these are only tools. Don't rely on them for life, and just take that leap and let them go eventually. So right now, we're going to do a simple meditation, very short one, unless we have any questions, Andy.
No questions right now.
All right, beautiful. I guess you guys are so zenned out. No questions anymore. So with meditation, there's a very big difference about the posture. You want to keep yourself in the awake state. Otherwise, when you start to meditate, the mind can interpret it as we are going to sleep. So in order to keep yourself awake and alert, you want to do certain things the way you sit. Number one, you want to put both feet firmly on the ground. Number two, you want to create a 90-degree angle in your knees between the calves and the thighs. You also want to create a 90-degree angle between your thighs and your back. So if you need to insert any kind of pillow, and I'm using the pillow right now, or if you need to insert anything that will help you to keep the back 90-degree between your thighs and your back, that is advisable. Or you can also just push away from the back of the chair and sustain yourself that way. And the last one, you want to keep your chin parallel to the ground, because in such case, your neck becomes neutral. If you do not keep your neck neutral or your back in 90-degree, which is also a neutral position, you will get tired and your body will be starting to leaning one side or the other, and you will start getting anxious and agitated. So you want to kind of eliminate that as much as possible. So let's find that 90-degree angles in our knees, in our spine, and putting the chin parallel to the ground. You also want to put your arms on the lap, your palms on the lap, facing up or facing down, doesn't matter. That creates kind of natural ability to put your shoulders down. And I would invite you to close your eyes or lower your gaze, whatever you feel comfortable, to go as much as possible inward. And the simplest technique is to start following your breath. So since we already did some breathing techniques, your mind should be relatively quiet. Start paying attention to your breath. Not breathing on purpose, but actually noticing how is that you naturally inhale and naturally exhale. Becoming a third-party observer and being curious of where the breath originates, noticing perhaps the belly rising, the chest, then the nostrils, and then noticing the natural exhalation, the coolness or the warmth of the air, the sensation in nostrils, again, the chest falling, the belly falling. Usually you have some prominent breathing spots as well. So get curious. How is that you are breathing? Noticing your natural inhale and natural exhale. And I also would like you to bring your awareness in the space between the eyebrows in the center of your head, in the center of your forehead. Just your awareness. Keep your eyes closed. And it's almost like you're looking in the middle of your forehead, but with your eyes closed. And some of you may feel some energy, perhaps some light, or just even tension, slight pressure. Keep your awareness in the center of the forehead. That allows us to activate the prefrontal cortex. And as you are in the center of your forehead, continue to slowly breathing, noticing the inhale and exhale. And as you do so, your mind will absolutely wander. The thoughts, the sensations, the feelings, the emotions will start to come in, perhaps even all at once. And what I want you to do is welcome everything, observe everything that comes in, but choose not to get involved with any single one. Just like you would watch the clouds on the sky passing by, noticing those clouds without trying to attach to any single one. Watch this internal movie of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and choose to come back to your breath. Almost saying, I see you, but my task right now is to pay attention to the breathing. Noticing your natural inhale and natural exhale. And if you feel that you're too much going away or you're too slow, let go of that judgment as well. Just notice what is. There is no good, bad, or other. There is nothing to do and nowhere to go. Just breathing. Keeping your full awareness in the center of the forehead. Welcoming and making part of this meditation anything that arises. Resisting nothing. Just allowing and letting go without attaching to any single thing. And if your mind is quiet, look for that space in between the breath. Look for that stillness and emptiness right after each inhale, and rest in it even for a few split seconds. And notice that emptiness and quietness after each exhale, and rest in it. And as you go deeper and deeper, let go of any tension. Relax your body further. Let yourself to sink in into whatever you're sitting on. No resistance. Fully relaxed. Fully present. Fully alert. Noticing what is. And now start to deepening your breath, perhaps wiggling the toes and the fingers. We'll take 3 deep breaths together as one. As you hear the bell, take a deep inhale. Slightly pause at the top, and as slowly as you can, exhale through the nose, coming back to your body, coming back to the room you're at. One more time. And this time, exhale through the mouth, letting go of anything that's been holding you back, anything that is no longer needed. And one last deepest inhale for the day. And exhale through the mouth, relaxing any tension. And at your own pace, on the next inhale, opening your eyes. And feel free to move, perhaps stretch or extend your legs. Listen to your body. This is a perfect opportunity to do what your body desires. If you feel sleepy, that means that you actually do need some sleep and some rest. So see where you can improve in that. Let's shake our hands a little bit, just the wrists, so you can wake up a little bit mentally, but in a gentle way. Okay, and we are back. So this is the basic technique, and there are tons of other things, but just start with little things. This is the easiest one, and you can remember to do it. So there are so many benefits to mindfulness and meditation, and they're clinically documented, and there are a lot of that posted on the internet. I would like to bring your attention to this one that was done by Aetna Insurance, the company, and it wasn't done for the insurance provider, but for their own employees internally. The CEO, Mark Bertoloni, had a very big accident, and he was in tremendous amount of pain, and nothing was helping him, and he found mindfulness and meditation that was helping. He got so inspired that he wanted to bring these tools inside the company. But the other officers and executives said, well, we need to have the justification for it. What would be the results? So they did a 1-year study of incorporating mindfulness meditation and I believe some yoga into the work life. And after 1 year, they found out that there was a 36% reduction in stress levels. There was 7% decrease in healthcare costs. So people were not getting sick as often, and they were not requiring those claims, the medical insurance claims, as much. They also improved their productivity 62 minutes per week per employee, which resulted to about $3,000 of productivity increase per employee per year. And that is absolutely amazing. So when I work within the companies, and I call it the mindfulness movement at work, we're kind of focusing on the same steps that we have been discussing with you. Number one, the most important, is that you start with creating the focus and self-awareness. If you do not know how to put yourself in the present moment, then you will not be able to consciously choose, respond, and manage your emotions. So that is the number one. And once you start to pay attention to present moment, once you learn how to be on demand present, and as we discussed a few tools today, then your performance will improve. Your productivity will go up. As you continue building on the skills, you actually start to pay attention to your emotions. And I teach how to process those emotions in a healthy way, and that builds up resilience. Also, we're going through the tools of communication, how to communicate on a totally different brain level and do it in a conscious way. That creates a total different synergy in the teamwork. And lastly, all those tools are only lasting if you incorporate it as part of the company culture. There must be physical and social environment in place for people to be okay with taking a few deep breaths, to have a room or the space where you can stretch and meditate. And while doing that, the whole level of innovation and creativity and the company level and the culture level expands, and therefore it's always the next level performance, the next level team, and the next level culture. This is kind of everything that I wanted to give as new information. I would like to put it as a little summary, sum it up, unless we have any questions. Andy?
I don't have any posted at the moment, so if anybody would like to ask any questions, go ahead and post those now, and I'll grab them and toss them over to you, Oksana.
Excellent. So to put it all together, what we did today, we started with our internet minute. When we just started the presentation, we kind of quieted down, we sat for just 1 minute, we closed all the mental files. This is an excellent tool to use to switch between the tasks and to start the new ones between the calls, meetings, or even as a group. Excellent for end of the day. That allows you not to bring all the mental and emotional baggage from the previous interaction to the new communication. And sometimes we are so wired about the previous call, and then the person comes to ask us something, we're just like, what? And we start to telling them all about that, which takes away from the productivity and what they brought into our space. The body scan. This is excellent training tool to improve the connection between the mind and the body and establish that conscious communication. Just one side note, this is not a physical exam, and you don't need to test all your organs in the body and find out all the little muscles and the tension. It's really more to train your awareness and relax. If you find any physical tension that needs to be addressed, then by all means, go to the physical therapy and get a massage. The 3 breathing tips that we did today, beautiful to do anywhere, anytime. You're always breathing, so just start paying attention. Remember that when we are stressed, when we are overwhelmed, when we're on a deadline, we hold our breath. So if you just learn to increase the depth and length of your breath, then you can start managing your nervous system. 6 deep breath when you're stressed, 5x5 breathing technique. And by the way, we're going to send you a 1-pager of all these tools. So you don't need to remember too much out of that. So you will have that and you can print it out. And then the last but not least is the meditation. That the simplest technique is to pay attention to your breath. Remember to focus your awareness here as this is prefrontal cortex, and you're actively activating the conscious mind. And also, you're going to hear a lot of thoughts, chatter. That is actually our conscious mind. And we all know that if we meet that person in the bar that is speaking to us all the time, we probably would not be friends with it. Well, with meditation, don't worry, it's going to be very active and loud in the beginning. But then you slowly will start learning how to quiet that voice down, and that will allow you to access the subconscious. And then if you're accessing the subconscious, you can see the habits, the habit loop. What are you have been just reacting and behaving? And remember, those habitual memories, we formed them when we were between 2 and 6 years old. They might not be applicable anymore. So you might want to rewrite some of those habits and behaviors. Meditation is probably the only tool that I have found out that you can do to yourself at your own pace, and it will last, because once you are aware, once you become self-aware of those things, it's just life transforming. There is no way to reverse that, and it's not like hypnosis that you can potentially regress to something else because somebody else done it to you. The last but not least, the most important is these are not the tools that you need to spend hours and hours on. You don't need to go to India into the monastery and spend silent hours and silent retreats to take advantage of those tools. A few minutes really go a long way. Remember, the only thing is you need consistency. So select certain times. Let's say 10 minutes meditation in the morning, 10 minutes meditation at night, and then a few breathing techniques or just the reminders to get up and move, take some water, breathe, stretch in the between during the day. If you do just a few things, you will feel the profound results. I would be happy to answer any questions that
we have a few questions.
Okay, beautiful.
Let's see. So a few of them are kind of the same. Should we schedule mindfulness at the same time every day? And then you addressed a little bit of the second question is, how long do you recommend doing these breathing techniques and meditation a day? So when should we do it and how long?
Beautiful. When should you do it? It really depends on your schedule and lifestyle. I would recommend to pair it with something that, for example, meditation, I just wake up and I'm going to do meditation, or it's the first thing that I do when I arrive in the office. If you are pairing it with like this is triggers the response, then you are more likely to establish that habit. Choose what is convenient for you. Don't try to change your life too fast because otherwise you're not going to stick to it. So the excellent way when you are either just woke up, if your environment at work allows you, say you have a private office, you can do it just when you got first thing in the morning to the office. And you can do it, start small, start with at least 10 minutes, and then gradually increase it to 15 or 20. What I've noticed is that usually in about 10, 15, 20 minutes, that's where you can see the loops actually coming in because it takes you some time to quiet down. And then till you quiet down, that's when you can see the subconscious revealing you those habits and patterns. Start small, 10 minutes is okay. After 6 months or so, you can start doing, or 3 months if you're a fast meditator, you can do 15 and then increase to 20. And also in the morning with meditation, you're tuning in. Usually your brain is much fresher, so you will be able to get into subconscious way faster. At night, you can use meditation to really let go of everything that has happened throughout the day, quiet down your nervous system. And if you do it as the last thing before you go out from your office or right when you arrived at home, you will see how your interaction with your family or just the quality of your evenings will change tremendously. It's a beautiful tool. I have done it, and I know that several people have done it in the car. So people usually know that you left the office, but your family does not even know yet that you arrived. So you can do it in the garage, in the car, just a few minutes breathing in and breathing out. The breathing techniques, again, pair them with something. Do, let's say, it's not recommended to do any breathing techniques before when you have empty, full stomach. So let's say before lunch, take 6 deep inhales and exhales, and then have your lunch. You will digest better. There are actually so many breathing techniques that I teach. We just really barely scratched the surface. So I hope it answered the question. And then these tools, guys, cell phones and watches nowadays, they have those reminders like 1 minute breathe or stand up. Take advantage of them. Actually, do stand up when it rings and do take that 1 minute breathing when it shows you something. It's excellent. Take advantage of technology too.
Awesome. And you kind of went down the path of technology. One of the questions was around, do you have a suggested app for meditation?
I mean, it's all personal in a sense of what voice you like. I think Headspace gained popularity, but there are a lot of them like Breathe, 10% Happier. I think they're like if you put meditation, there's so many of them. Headspace that has this guy with British accent. His name is Andy actually too. So British guy, and then you just find what you like. Test a few. I think they all have trials for a week or 10 days, and if it's relaxing voice for you, if you like the pace, they're all pretty good now. It got to a level where it's really doesn't matter which one. Just remember, it's a tool, so you are using it for establishing the habit, and then find the technique where you can let go of that tool, where you can do it on your own, because only when you're with yourself, by yourself, quiet and not talking, then you can have a chance to access the subconscious and rewrite those behaviors.
All right, cool. And I love this question. It says, what would you suggest for people who have trouble keeping that conscious mind quiet during this time?
I would say that chances are you need to start with breathing technique and use breathing technique, and let's say 5 by 5 that we did today. Use that technique as your meditation and as like the major portion of the meditation for at least 3 to 4 minutes, maybe even 3 to 5 minutes, depending how busy you are. Counting, very important, because you keep your mind busy. If you're not going to count, you're going to start getting to that calendar invite, email, and whatever is on your mind. So you use breathing technique as a meditation, and at the end, let go of that breathing technique and just observe for a few moments and just observe. Eventually, your mind going to start to catch up. But if you affect your nervous system, your mind will quiet automatically. If you cannot quiet your mind easily on demand, do breathing technique before meditation. Breathe for 2-3 minutes and then do the full round of 10-minute meditation. It's going to really help.
All right. And then final question. I know you grew up in Texas, so could you tell us where you got that accent?
I didn't grow up in Texas. I grew up in Russia. So I'm Russian originally, and I came here in 2007. So almost a little more than 10 years. That's kind of my short story.
You were in Texas, right?
I came first as an exchange student to Texas when I was 16. That was 2002. And I was here for a year with a host family from Texas. It was Arlington, between Dallas and Fort Worth. So that's where I practiced the English. I knew English before from the school in Russia, but I'm originally from the far east of Russia, very, very far away. If you think the land between China and Japan, some people don't even realize there's Russia there, but there is. It's a piece of land. It's actually a kind of shape of Florida. And that's where I'm from. So at 16, I came to Texas, expanded my horizons and opportunities, but I didn't know meditation and mindfulness then. And in 2007, I came back here. And then in 2012, I left to live in Asia for 2 years. And that's where I really picked up a lot of stuff that I'm consciously using now.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you being a part of our community and sharing your information with everybody. So the folks that are still on the line, we will be sending out a link to the video as well as information from the PowerPoint. And then Oksana does work with companies to implement all of these pieces. So we're going to send an information tool out to all the leaders that are on this call. And if you'd like to engage with her, you're more than welcome to just give her a quick email and explore that with her. Again, Oksana, thank you for being with us today. Hopefully everybody's got a few takeaways. My mantra for this year is be better. And this is certainly helping me be better. And I hope it does the same for you. So.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I would be happy to answer any questions. Leah will be sharing an e-badge so that you meditated today. Feel free to share it in social media and tag SattvaMe. I'll be happy to hear from you.
All right. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great day.
Bye-bye.